fuck up. It's time to talk business. Jared Taylor, Matt Best, and Evan Hafer proudly present Blackhearted. Sponsored by BlackRifle Coffee Company and Arson Wave.
Oh, the group is back.
I know. Sorry.
That was it. No worries.
I had a pardon for a little bit,
We were all, you know.
I'm like Chelsea Manning. I had a pardon for a little bit.
May.
You know?
He's released in May.
Yeah.
He
thank
is-
God.
Yeah, he is.
No, I don't think he can release anymore because he's.
Yeah,
okay,
whatever.
well, that's
I don't.
gross.
Should we take bets on when he changes back?
I know, right?
No shit, right?
The second he's a free citizen.
Yeah, like if that was all a ruse or whatever we want to call it.
I don't know.
When he changes back himself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just
man.
a whole bag of no. I don't even want to think about it.
If I was him, I'd change my whole name to like Steve Tanner.
Steve
Yeah.
Howie. I would change to Steve
I would.
Howie.
I would change mine to, I don't know, Tandy. That's what I would change mine to.
That won't
Would
sell.
that be your female name? Tandy?
Oh,
Man.
Tandy, the Tandy.
Well, we got Kate.
You know
over
what?
there
I
today.
know exactly where that came from. It came
Last
from
Man
Last
on
Man
Earth.
on Earth. Thank
Tandy,
you.
of course, yeah.
I kept going, wow, I know that Tandy name. Where's it
Yeah.
from? So today we have a special guest.
Yeah.
Special.
Somebody we have a special relationship with.
Heck
Yeah.
yes.
A very special relationship. You could say that we've docked
We're
economically.
going double Matt
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
We're going
Yeah.
double Matt.
Double Matt.
Mr. Matt Tandy.
Matt squared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two T's though.
Two
Two
T's.
T's.
Yeah.
Two T's. And you're from the South.
Yeah,
Not communist California.
No. I'm actually Detroit, but I ended up.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's more
Oh,
communist
that's
than
street cred.
California.
Now
That's-
that was back in the '90s.
That is
so,
street cred.
Yeah. No, I'm back in the South now,
Whereabouts in the South?
in Alabama, northern Alabama.
Okay, I can
Yeah.
get down.
So it's a good gun area.
All right.
Yeah.
Better
All right.
better than Detroit. I mean,
Well, Detroit, plenty of guns. There's all illegal.
yeah, it's
and-
Detroit where the guns are illegal and the
Yeah.
citizens aren't armed. It's good to go. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, just like sister Chicago.
Yeah.
Well,
Welcome, bro. We have
thanks.
so much exciting stuff to talk about with you and good workings of business in the
We
future.
are going to spend
Yeah.
a lot of time with him very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah,
So,
Costa Rica.
We are headed to Costa Rica.
Costa Rica 17.
Yeah.
It's like spring break 99.
So, Matt,
PC Beach.
why would be heading to Costa Rica, Matt?
Well, good coffee, good beaches, and we can set you up with both. We already talked with our crew down there, so they're going to set up some reservations in Jaco, which is a good beach town,
Nice.
good waves, good bars,
Oh, dear.
and down to Manuel Antonio, beautiful place.
Oh,
But
he threw an accent on there. Did you see
Yeah.
that? Manuel
Little bit.
Antonio.
Hey, when you're
So-
always in Costa Rica and Guatemala, you probably got an accent. You got a little bit of a little accent. Not like this bald baby over here.
Baker. So so what do you do in the coffee business? Obviously, that's why we've kind of coordinated and corresponded with you. If you want to tell the listeners what you're about down there, would be awesome.
Yeah, in 2011, my family and I, we just moved down to Central America. We're entrepreneurs, always have been.
Right.
I did some time in the military, got out, then pursued entrepreneurship. And so we went down to Costa Rica and was in language school. And it was there that we saw the opportunity for coffee. It's Costa Rica. Right. So we partnered with the owner of the language school. His name's Hector, great guy. And from there,
Name's
So
Hector.
he says, Hector.
Great guy.
Hector's
Hector,
a
great guy.
Yeah,
that
he-
was
he's
that.
a-
Yeah.
I feel like
no,
Hector's
Hector-
never really a bad guy.
Well,
No,
Hector
when-
Hector was in Fast and Furious 1.
well, this is a neat, when you guys meet Hector, he probably won't be the Hector you guys think he is,
Really?
but he's a really cool guy. He's all of 5 foot, but he's full of life. So we went down there and we now got a coffee farm. We got thousands of plants, and we got the equipment down there to process all the coffee. But the past 4 years, we've been waiting for the coffee to grow. So now that the coffee's completely mature, we're ready to start
so
exporting it.
how long does that process take?
We planted the plants in May of 2012, so it's really about 4 years. You can start picking after about 3 years, but the 4th year, if you take care of the plants, then the beans are going to be good to go. And we've got high quality coffee. It's growing at a phenomenal rate compared to the other farms in our area. They can't touch what we've got.
Let's rewind a little bit. Where do you come from? What's your background? Why are you outdoing everyone in your area?
Yeah, that's a good question. How honest do I got to be?
As honest you want to be, brother.
All right, cool. No, shoot. I mean, we grew up in Illinois, ended up in Detroit, went to school, then went in the military in 95, got out the end of '02, did a little time in corporate America, but just that entrepreneurship took over. So started a business in Charlotte area, a document shredding business. Just kind of a unique business, and grew that to one of the largest ones in the Charlotte area.
Wow.
Sold that, started another company. That company was just running itself. We had a great team in place. You just train your guys to do the job whether you're there or not. And so I was a little bored, so I said to my wife, who was an MP at 101st, and said, hey, let's do something different.
What units were you in?
I was with 3327. I was an infantry guy. Did about a year and a half with LURS, and went to selection. Made it through selection. Q course didn't work out. Fractured vertebrae, a whole other story. But appreciate y'all's service.
So you would be called Special Force.
Yeah,
Not Special Forces.
No, not even. I don't even take that
Where
credit.
is that?
So
327. Who is it? Where is
that's
that?
1st Brigade and 101st.
Oh, okay.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
so 95 to 99.
And somehow you linked up with an MP.
Yeah,
Was that because she was routinely visiting?
Well, I was on my Harley and I ran a red light. She
Seriously?
pulled me over and she busted out the handcuffs and it had to be love.
You could quote unquote
Yeah.
say she arrested his
No,
heart.
that's
She arrested his heart.
yeah, she did. That's kind of a bullshit story. No, we met in a meeting, so that's boring. But the handcuffs and being pulled over, that's a little more cool.
That's a good story.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got 2 kids, and we just went down to Costa Rica and started the business, and then went over to Guatemala, started a business there, and
What
came back.
business was it?
In Guatemala?
Yeah.
Yeah, laundering.
Yeah.
So, and that's a laundromat. Now, just totally different business. We just look for those areas that are completely missing in communities because that's where you can make some cash.
Right.
But that business we've completely handed off. The coffee is one we're keeping near and dear to our heart because it's coffee.
Right.
But we moved back into the country in late 2014. I sold my other company, and then we moved to Alabama to partner with my brother, and we make carbon fiber rifle stocks, which brings us into the gun industry. And
Coffee industry.
AG Composite.
AG Composites, we make them for Kimber, for Bagara, Barrett. We do aftermarket Remington 700 stocks, high quality stuff.
I admire you as an entrepreneur. That's amazing that you pursued
like
so
that.
many different avenues
Can
of business.
we do that like 2020? Just go to other countries and start stuff.
I'm
and
cool.
sell it?
I'll start a laundromat, dude. I'm not scared.
I'm down.
Well, it's a good way to get in the country. And I tell you, my great-great-grandpa, Grandpa Heine, back in the late 20s, was a sign painter. And he partnered with a guy to make burgers. Mm-hmm. And then when the economy started to come out of the recession or depression, the burger joint started to take off. The sign business started to take off. Grandpa Heine was like, I like painting. Told his partner, you take the burger joint. That burger joint became Steak and Shake.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
So we got entrepreneur blood in our family, and so just little stuff like that.
I have an honest question for you. So you have all these different businesses that you pursue throughout your life. What would you say, like at the core level, why? Like why have you pursued that? And obviously monetarily, everybody wants to be successful. But why did you pursue being an entrepreneur so like hard? Because you've obviously been successful in so many different things.
Freedom.
Okay.
Yeah, just one word.
Absolute
because,
freedom.
Yeah, it's
Like
you're
being your own boss, you'd say?
Yeah, and then some. In the military, it's a different organization. We all know you've got people to report to, so you kind of set yourself up for that, and that's the environment you operate in. But as a civilian, I did not want to ask permission to go on vacation. I wanted to, if it's I've got land in Alabama, I hunt. If the wind is good, I want to be able to leave work when I want to go hunt. And being an entrepreneur, you've got that freedom. Now you got to have the discipline to not leave when you got to do the hard work, the 90-hour, 100-hour work weeks, you got to do it. But at the end of the day, we answer to the customers. We work our butts off to grow the business. But, entrepreneur is the best way to have freedom. Financial.
I'm super impressed with the shredding business in Charlotte. Like, that's like that to me. That's almost like toilet paper. Like where you say people are never going to stop buying toilet paper, and then coming up with a shredding business, like that is one of those needs that everybody has, but nobody thinks about.
Well, I was working in a mortgage joint, and they were throwing everything away in the garbage. And I said, guys, you can't do that. It's got people's information on it.
God.
So we bought a little shredder, pain in the butt, and I said, there's got to be a better way. And so we started to do the research, and there were the big international companies, but I'm like, there's not a local company in the Charlotte area.
Right.
So we started a company, and we started with really nothing. I don't come from money. So started off with a few grand and then grew it over time. But here's a cool story is in Charlotte, we went to a Ford dealership, and they had the Wheel of Fortune mobile there. We just went. We had 2 little babies, and we dropped our name in a hat. And about 2 weeks later, they contacted my wife via email, said, "You want to be on the show?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "We'll come do auditions, and we'll see." So she did auditions, and they said, "Hey, thank you for coming out." There's about 100 people. And a few weeks after that, she got the call saying, "Hey, you made it. Come out to L.A. to be on the show." Went out to L.A., on the show, won the whole thing.
What?
No.
Badass, dude.
One Wheel of Fortune?
That
won
is
the-
badass.
Yeah,
Oh
she
my
was.
God.
And I'm telling her, okay, Pat Sajak's going to ask you what you do for a living. You got to plug the shred company because we got a national audience here. Everybody watches it. You walk in anybody's house at 6:30. We got Wheel of Fortune. So Pat says, "Hey, Laurie, what do you do?" And she's like, "Well, we got a document shredding company in Charlotte." He's like, "That's a good business." And she won all the puzzles, and we walked away with about 25 grand cash, trip to Aruba. And that money is what helped us survive for the first 18 months as we grew the business, because you're poor as you're building your clientele.
Of course.
But it was just
That's
some
crazy.
little
Wheel
weird
of
stories
yeah,
like that.
That was your Wheel of Fortune, both
That was-
literally and metaphorically.
Yeah.
What would you say, like, the similarities between, because you started so many businesses with, like, completely different approaches, like shredding business, laundry, and all these different things. What's the core value that you applied to each one of those businesses that made it successful?
Well, we do what we say we're going to do. You know, we operate with integrity, and we go after every business to be successful. So when we meet customers, we take care of them. We're very competitive. No is never good enough. You know, we get a yes out of them. No obstacles big enough to not overcome. It's just that mentality that, if you want something, you got to go for it.
Right.
And I mean, you can't cheat the system. You can't lie to someone, because that sooner or later is going to come back and get you. And in business, it's a small world.
One of my favorite quotes of all time is from Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I say this all the time. It's, "Don't break the law, but break the rules." And I think that's a great approach to business, because you're not breaking the laws, you're not being unjust, you're not being fake, but you're going to break the basic rules of what business are. Like, well, you have to have these set like parameters. Fuck you, I do, but then you have the ability to still stay in the confines of being legit and a good business and doing things, but no one should tell you how to.
Well, there's a number of
promote, market, and do all these
rules that are
things.
just arbitrary, and you always, for me, I always question who wrote that. Right. Especially in the military. Like, if you know anything about the military, the person that was in charge of writing rules was probably in trouble, or just like they were given a job, like, you just need to do this. And the second thing to that is, he didn't have all the answers right there. Nobody ever has all the answers. Like, you were writing a rule just based on what you know within the military or warfare at that point in time. So those things change when we go from a linear battle to insurgency. So a lot of those rules went out the window.
And business is the same, I'd
It's
say.
the same thing.
Yeah, I don't have a business degree. I wasn't good in school.
I salute
The
that.
most successful entrepreneurs usually don't, because
I barely
People with
graduated
business
high school.
degrees are still
and-
too busy
so-
telling everybody they have business degrees.
Well, there's a great book out there, Millionaire Mind, and they interview like 1,000 millionaires, and they all said you got to get along with people, which is true. You got to be able to get along with people. But some guy started a recycle company, made millions, and he always under the impression you got to be a 3.5 or better to be successful. And he's like, well, all those guys who had those high grades, they all work for me.
Yeah.
And it's there are no rules. You're exactly right. You've got to figure out how to make it right. You got to figure out how to
Hustle.
do it and hustle. And
I mean, look at Evan. He's so dumb, but he's so smart. You know?
I mean, my wife tells me that all the time.
I'm kidding.
don't
You're
think
you're one of the
dumb.
smartest people I've
He's
ever
like-
met.
She looked at me the other day. I said something, which I do have a dry sense of humor, if you guys haven't caught on to that. But I made a joke. My wife we've been married for over 3 years. She didn't know I was joking, and she's like, "Are you that dumb?" I was like, "Come on, really? Like, you don't know me? Are you serious? You don't know me? You don't know me, girl?
I spent
know me?
6 months
You
of
don't
my
know me?
life just incorporating a coup to annoy you.
I did. I spent 6 months of my life just
And
trying
that's
to fuck
brilliant.
her
And
up.
that's the thing. Like, that's brilliance. You're probably one of the smartest people I've met in my lifetime, Evan. And I truly mean that.
Dude,
Like,
if
knowing you well, like, I've seen other people be impressive with their I can talk in front of people. I can sway them to believe what I'm believing. But when you get to know people like over a long term, you consistently impress me. And there's very few people, and I'm not trying to stroke your dick here, but that consistently impress me where I'm like, I've known you for four years now.
Yeah, 4. Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, wow, that's Jesus Christ. That's Evan's impressive.
I could listen
like
to
Jared,
you.
I'm like, no, he got cornrows. It's impressive. He's such an asshole. But like, he's impressive in his own right. But
I could listen to you and Daniel Holloway talk all night, all day, all night.
That guy's incredible.
Like,
I can't wait
just,
to get him back
just
on.
sitting there, like listening to you guys go back and forth is a treat. It's like radio show.
So we have a
It's a
guest.
radio show.
We
No,
have
I'm
a
sorry.
guest from this radio show. You know, we have a guest.
No, I'm learning right now. I'm in awe. I'm in awe.
No, I think you're a great inspiration
Yeah,
for entrepreneurs, and like I think someone for like myself, just to speak freely, would be, you know, I've had semi-success with like startup companies and things, but they've all been like confined in the sense of like the conservative group that I understand, right? So it'd be like, Matt, how do I start? And I get this question a lot, like, how would I start a fucking furniture company? I honestly wouldn't know the first thing about that other than being good at the craft and being good at marketing that craft.
Right.
And that's the only thing I could kind of advocate for their success. But like seeing the multitude of like different facets you've been successful in is intriguing to me, because like wouldn't know how to make a laundry business successful.
I see a smart pattern though.
Yeah.
Is he's finding holes.
He's finding
He's
holes,
finding
right?
needs,
And that's what I'm seeing too.
and then exploiting
yeah,
needs.
the needs, and
that
then how do you
is-
optimize those and
Yeah.
create like a successful business based off those needs and wants.
Well, and people are key. You know,
Right,
when you,
right.
especially when you go into other countries, because the culture is different. So you got to find those people that you trust, and that's hard. Anywhere you go, here in the States or whether it's out of this country, finding those people you can
yeah,
trust.
middle management will make or break every business.
Absolutely, and just having that mentality in our company now, where we're just trying to instill that, you know, never quit attitude. You know, before a shot, it's crazy. You're trying to get all these stocks done, and you know, we did 40 hours in 2 days. Where it's like, look, I told my crew, we have to get these stocks done because they have to just show them to thousands of people. There's no other option. And so, if survival is, you know, with business, you want it to be successful, so you do everything you possibly can without breaking the law.
I mean, I almost quoted Arnold Schwarzenegger again. I'm just an Arnold Schwarzenegger kick.
I loved it. I love
You know?
that. You
No,
know,
because
you
he
get-
says if you want success as bad as you need air, you will be successful,
Yeah.
and it's ultimately the truth. Because you'd said something today when we were talking with you know, corporate JV that we're working on, and you're like, it's my decision to be successful or unsuccessful every morning. When I wake up at 3:30 in the morning or whatever the case is, you make that active choice to say, I'm gonna fucking do this or I'm not. When you wake up at 10 a.m. and be like, oh fuck, I should have. That was your fucking decision as an entrepreneur to not be successful. It's that whole hustle, and you know, it's basic terms, but it's a complex environment, you know.
Right.
But when you break it down, it's pretty basic. Just hustle, grind, and then figure out what works and what doesn't. And trial and error can be first run, or you can figure it out in 3 years, and it's just a process. So
Yeah, it just takes time, and you know, just hearing from Evan what's going on with BlackRifle is absolutely impressive. In 2 years, just what's happened with your company. And I think you get the right minds, you get the right drive. You get a bunch of military guys who just don't understand. You know, they don't understand the word quit,
yeah,
and that's key.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple other things where it's like, I think once you've, I don't know, I remember the first time like I drove a truck through the front gate of a building. It opened up my eyes. It's like, oh, I can just fucking ram my way through that. I don't need to breach it. I just need to
Obstacle,
fucking
just
drive
fuck it.
drive a
Just
fucking truck through
brute
there.
kinetic
and it
energy.
works way better.
Yeah.
I was like, this
we
is
don't
way
need
better.
to stack up and get it out.
I'm
No,
just gonna
just
drive that
boom.
truck through there. It's great, and I think there's like going back to what you said with the rules. It's like figure out what rules are bullshit that you can just like. No, I'm never going to do that. It doesn't make any sense. I don't even need to do that. Or the ones that you have to like fictionalize, like you have to pretend like, oh, I got to put on a collared shirt, put on a fucking.
I
and
need
I've
to
done
wear.
this.
I
I've
need
done
to
it,
wear.
social
I
constraints.
need to wear a reflective belt while
Yeah.
walking through Qatar.
right. Dude,
You are an idiot.
That's a brilliant thing, and it's crazy you say it, because I absolutely have thought about this in my life. I think that there's like, if you look at tactics, anybody that's been in the military, there's not a singular like response for a specific like environment that is correct, right? So it's like when I was in a Ranger regiment, they'd be like, there's soft clears, there's call outs, and all these were specific things that you would do based off of, oh, we blew a fucking charge, now we need to do a call out, right? No, like there's certain times where you actually have to like deliberately think about the complexity of the environment and then appropriately respond. So the same thing is with business. And sometimes when the book says go white clear, go hard on this target, you're like, well, no, I'm seeing indicators that there's people awake. If I white clear, my boys are going to get shot. I'm going to do a call out, and you have to kind of do like a change of plan or a con up and say, let's not do this, even though the book says that. The book says to wear a fucking collared shirt. I'm going to show up in a tank top because I don't fucking want them to think I give a fuck what they think about me.
Right.
And walk into that boardroom like, guess what? You want me, you have me. Like, let's go.
That mindset comes with a lot of special operations background guys, because you're trained to be fluid thinkers and adjusting based on your environment.
Well, you look at what you got in front of you, especially with business. And, if you don't have money, that could be a huge obstacle, but you can find ways around it, just guerrilla marketing where, with the whole Wheel of Fortune thing, it's a great story. It's an icebreaker, but it's like, how do I capitalize on this? So the day that the show aired, I called every radio station in Charlotte and said, hey, my wife's going to be on the show tonight. That's great morning rush hour traffic, stuff to talk about on the radio. So we were on like 6 different radio stations, and every time they'd say, hey, what do you do down there? Oh, we got a shredding company. That's awesome. And so it's just using all those different things to push this, because that costs,
on the publicity.
It costs thousands to be able to just get 30 seconds. But here my wife is talking to thousands and thousands of people. She's plugging the business. Right. And it's just getting creative.
Yeah, because ultimately they have a marketing outcome of like, okay, we have a cool story that can get us time on the air, and then which is entertaining for our guests. And then at the end, you're like, anything you want to plug? I'd love to plug my I work for the shredding company, and you just got $4,000 worth of marketing for free.
Right, and front page of a newspaper.
Exactly.
Because in July of 2005, the federal law was passed on you have to shred stuff. So I was like, that's news.
Perfect.
Called the local newspaper and said, hey, are you familiar with this new federal law? And they're like, that's a cool story. So I'm on the front page of an air.
That's gangster. That's guerrilla warfare.
It's front page of the Charlotte Observer, full color ad of me shredding. I couldn't afford that.
Right.
So, we were at the NRA show back in May, and one of my business partners, he's like, hey, that BlackRifle company, they're over there serving coffee. Put my stuff down. I said, I'm going over there because those guys, they're selling coffee. I got coffee. I can't just call you on the phone. I'm going to go face to face with you and say, hey, I got coffee. I know you need it. Let's do business.
Isn't it funny? We talked about that on the last one I was on about being face to face.
Face to face.
It's a true entrepreneur right there. You didn't send an email. You walked up and said,
knows
this is
what
me.
It takes.
This is what I have. You need to know me.
I stood there for 45 minutes because he was talking to somebody.
He did.
Yeah, he probably thought I was some stalker or something, like, who's this gay guy, or something. But I stood there. He's talking for 45 minutes, and I'm just waiting. You're talking marketing with some lady. And so, you kind of glanced over like he's still there. And as soon as you broke away,
Leopold,
Sig.
Yeah. But hey, introduce myself, and it's just like you're like, I want your coffee. So it's like, when are we going? I've known you for 30 seconds. It's like, when are we going to Costa Rica? I said, whenever you want to go. So
Okay.
this is how it's done.
It is exactly
same thing. How we met the guys down in El Sal.
Yeah, exactly.
He came in. I had the shirt on. He saw the car out front. I was at the cell phone lot at the Denver airport, and he was like, Is that your car out there? I said, yeah. He goes, I own a coffee farm in El Salvador. We love you guys.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, sweet. Can you meet Evan tomorrow night? And he showed up.
Yeah, you do it. I mean, as soon as I went back to Alabama after that show, I was like, hey, I met Evan, BlackRifle guys, and she's got online and got on the monthly subscription. So we get, so we're hooked on that stuff. I get to bump it up to like 3 bags now because I go through 2, so.
New boxes coming soon.
Yeah.
That are really cool.
Boxes. Hey, the funny thing is that the art of the sale, and I think a lot of people they lose that. And what I mean by that is like I say this all the time, like not to be trite or anything. I'm like, you still have to sell. That is the premises. That is a premise of business, which is to sell shit. And people think that what they want to be able to do is they go, well, I'm going to put a video out. And shit's just automatically going to happen. Well, first of all, there's a lot of assumptions in that. It's probably going to be seen like one time. Your mom's going to watch it and like it. She might share it or go, maybe not.
Or your mom watches it and doesn't like it. Love
and
you,
then
Mom.
it's like, well, yeah.
Well, the content relates to relevance, and if you do not create relevance, then you are victim to literally only your friends that feel that they will do you a favor are going to share it, and that stops.
But that doesn't like you don't stop. The first sell we made was to a gun store. It was the first store. It was the first store that was like, "Hey, we want your coffee." It wasn't to an individual. It wasn't through social media marketing. It was through a guy that I met at Beyond Shot 3 years ago, and he figured out we were doing coffee and was like, "Hey, man, I want your coffee." And I knew that at the end of the day, man, I can put myself in face to face in front of somebody and go, "Dude, you should buy our coffee. You should buy it." And I still do that. Like, this is one of the reasons why I come to Shot. I put myself, I step straight into the game. This is my product. This is who I am, and you should buy it from me. And there is no expectation other than like the responsibility is on us. It's our company. It's on us. We fucking sell this. And
So if
you
someone
can't do that,
if your prospect says why,
Yeah.
why should I buy your coffee? What's
well, for me,
And that's
Yeah.
all.
oh, there's
because
like for me, I know
because you get
exactly
objections,
why.
you get the no's and stuff,
Yeah.
and you got to overcome that stuff because the no, hey, that's just you're
Well,
one step closer to the yes.
And it's like you guys are like, well, you lead in with veteran owned. I actually don't because I'm a roast to order coffee company. I'm actually the only roast to order coffee company in the United States that says we don't roast your coffee until the order comes in. The order comes in, we roast it the next day, and then we ship it out priority. And Stumptown doesn't do that. Intelligentsia doesn't do that.
Don't say competitors' names,
But
please.
okay, sorry.
Yeah, he can. He can.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just.
yeah,
They,
yeah, yeah.
fucking
they
with
don't do that, and then I've also been with other guys, and they're like, "Well, we let our coffee off gas for 3 days, and then we ship it." I'm like, "I'm shipping that shit the very next day." Well, a valve costs an extra 5 cents per bag. Well, guess what? It's 5 cents per bag. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. We're gonna roast it. We're gonna bag it. We're gonna ship it, and by the time that it gets to you,
It's
it
reaching.
it's
prime
hitting that
flavor.
apex, or should be relatively soon. It's apex of flavor profile, depending on what bean we're using. So I know exactly. Like, it's like, why do you want to buy my coffee? Because I am the finest cup of Colombian Supremo roast to order coffee in the fucking United States, and that's why you should buy it. It's
Amen.
not. It's
Yeah, and there's a lot to go with that, and I think,
Fuck yeah.
and to like add on that, I mean, a lot of people you could try to market your company in that way. They're like, well, I don't give a fuck. They want to be part of a brand and a culture,
Right.
So if you look at like a business sense of like how does a singular business be successful, it's on like a bunch of different areas where you have a great cup of coffee. Where admittedly, like I'm learning more and more about coffee because I'm kind of the owner of the business, but I need to learn more about it, and then. But then you have the brand and the culture of the business, which is like people are equally as if not more, feel a part of it. So you have the coffee heads that are like, this is the greatest cup ever. Then you have the people go, man, this is actually good. But they bought $80 worth of coffee. And you're like,
Right.
but you use the word actually. So
Yeah.
it's a testament to building a brand and being a loyal brand, but then also maintaining and providing good customer service and a good quality product. And I think a lot of businesses fall short in that because they're good at one of those things. And you can't be successful in a business if you have one of those things. Like, this is a great cup of coffee. That's why you should fucking buy it. And they're like, yeah, but it's a white package with nothing on it. I don't, what is it? It's nothingcoffee.com. That's weird.
Nothingcoffee.com, and a lot of guys are out there, that their products. It really annoys me because it's like, I'll serve a cup of coffee. I'll pull a shot out of the espresso machine. I'll pour a cover. I truly enjoy making coffee. It's one of the things I like. I really enjoy making coffee. And it always like spikes a serious amount of skepticism when I see guys in the coffee industry that don't know how to make coffee, and that's their.
They're just
business.
doing it because it's a quick fucking
They
gimmick.
what they see.
I see them
they
doing
s-
it. I'm gonna add that to my profile too.
When
Like,
they see our
no, dude.
success, and I don't want to turn this into something. I think the art, the art of business, like whether you're shredding paper, right? Whether you're selling
I
t-shirts,
love that, by the way.
Whether you're
Like-
selling T-shirts or coffee, you're still selling, man. Like, and you can't expect people to just pull the trigger on your product and buy it because you were a vet. And I think that's one of the things that I don't like about a lot of veteran entrepreneurs that are out there that just expect, because they're vets, you should buy my shit. It's like, no, I should buy your shit because it's actually a high
You're doing
quality
it
product.
better. You're doing it
We're
better.
doing it better.
I look at business like this, right? So if you're going, like, let's consider ourselves a male and we're going out to get laid, right?
Got it.
Okay. This is a terrible analogy,
Yeah,
but I'm just
I
going
like
to
it.
dig down this hole.
Yeah,
I like
man.
it.
Okay. Being a business and being, so a veteran is being like STD free, where
Yeah.
if you're coming, I scored you at the bar, we're fucking, and after we're done, I'm like, by the way, here's my free STD panel. That's fucking awesome. You're a vet. I'm happy to have sex with you again. But you shouldn't be able just to be like, fuck me because I'm STD free. And they're like, well, that's fucking weird. Like,
yeah,
I need
it's
to
weird.
be attracted to you. I want you to have a whatever compatibility that we have. So like the veteran card shouldn't be used until like, okay, she's into both of us. She has fucking herpes. I don't. She's gonna fuck me because I'm a vet. Cool, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You know, but
I really like
it's not
that
the card.
analogy.
Like you can't just rely specifically on that when your fucking business model sucks, your product sucks, and your marketing sucks. Be like, I'm a veteran.
I'm a veteran.
It's a bad name for veterans
I'm
as
a Navy
as a whole.
SEAL by my shit.
Right.
Navy SEAL.
I'm a ranger. Watch my YouTube channel. Wait, what? Shit.
You can come up with a good product and you can come up with a good process, but if you can't build a relationship with the people, if you're a dick when you walk up to them, you just can't find that, the Wheel of Fortune was just a great way to break ice and start talking to people. And in the gun industry, you got a lot of common things. And so you start to break that ice. And people want to do business, with Evan or with Matt because they like you guys. And then on top of it, when the product kicks ass and the service is what they say it's going to be, they're loyal customers. And then that starts to spread with social media and all that. And that's how we did it. You build relationships with people. You go out there. I would do identity theft presentations at Chamber of Commerce's, and then I ended up getting hired to go speak at different conferences to speak about how to protect yourself in your business. So you become the expert. So you're the expert in coffee.
Right.
On top of that, you're cool to deal with. You got a cool brand, and on top of that, like you're saying, Matt, you're a vet. They're like, that's icing on the cake.
Right. It's like block check all the way down. And it's funny because this personal relationship, there's a personal relationship at this point. Like if Tandy would have been a weirdo, we would not be at this position.
We've ran into some
right
coffee weirdos.
Yeah.
That we were
have.
like, no.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, no.
Even though they had good numbers and great offers, it was like, but you're weird.
Yeah.
I think it's about like enjoying the process. We're at SHOT Show right now, and like today when we're at the 511 booth, like having the ability to like sit behind Edwin, who's our master roaster at BlackRifle Coffee, and just see the love that he has going in this coffee. And like as a business owner, seeing people come up to the booth and just get coffee, and like it's fucking cool you're here, Matt. And I'm like, man, I'll pour your coffee for you. Like I thoroughly get enjoyment, and like ultimately, why are we entrepreneurs, right? To build and provide for our families or whatever the course is, but like and enjoy fucking life at the cellular level. I just want to enjoy life. And that is enjoyment for me. When I see people get this product, they're having a good time, they're laughing with their wife over drinking BlackRifle. I'm like, that's fucking rad. That's what life should be about. And like that's what's enjoyable for me. And like a lot of people that get into business maybe don't have that outlook. They're like, I want my Corvette. And to each their own. That's the American dream. But I don't know. I find happiness through other people's happiness, and it's cool to see a product that actually influences and provides like a positive outcome to other people's lives. So
yeah, I teach my kids. They're 13 and 14. I'm like, if you do a good business and we do all the things we've been talking about, money will come.
Right.
But money can go quick. And if you go out and blow it on stuff, hey, that's your choice. But business is a lot more about money. It's about those relationships. It's about that joy that you're talking about, Matt. And that can happen regardless of what your product is. And we love business because you can help people, provide good jobs, which is always a good thing. All that stuff can provide joy. It's a lot better than being a slave to corporate America. Some people operate fine in that environment, not me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in business, you're essentially providing whatever service it is. It's service, and I just saw you wink at me over there. But it's providing a service, and like ultimately, when you see someone that like gets enjoyment from that service, it's a wonderful thing. At least that's why I love being a business owner. When people are like, they rep a shirt or they drink a cup of coffee, like they confide in that brand of like, and they're happy like that. Mm-hmm. I know it's such a simple fucking thing to say, but I love it. I fucking love it. Nothing brings more joy in my life than that. And it's cool.
You guys are going to see much more of us and Tandy.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Video-wise.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot some Costa Rican video.
Costa Rica,
with
2017,
with Hot
PC
Logan.
Beach, with Hot Logan.
Hot Logan.
Hot Logan.
Ladies out there, single ladies.
Well, you got the Ticas down there
or
too.
ladies with
I'm
loose
not going.
Morales.
I bailed on that trip. I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah.
Hot Logan is single.
I'm moving into my house on Friday, so I'm like, when you guys leave, I'm getting the keys to my house. So I've been living out of a rucksack for 4 fucking months.
Wow.
So
Congrats on the house.
thank you.
But you have me and Evan, Tandy.
Yeah.
Hey,
and Hot
I'm,
Logan.
I'm totally
And Hot
happy.
Logan.
He's
hot.
all right,
And
that's-
Hot Logie.
All right,
And
I'm in.
Logan's got a better beard than me,
Yeah,
So
it's kinda hard
and
not
he's
to-
single, so he can get weird down there.
Really?
Yeah. So
I'm gonna hook you up.
Hot Logan is disease free. He's single.
He's got the STD card.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's
His
a vet and
Instagram-
disease free, so he's got
His
both the sprinklings.
Instagram is BlackRifle Logan.
All right. Hey, where can the listeners find you, man? Like
Find those
shredding.com.
composite
Well,
stocks.
shredding's sold and all the other things sold, but agcomposites.com
Cool.
is the rifle stocks. And with
Carbon
coffee,
fiber
you're going to
stocks.
find it at BlackRifle.
Great.
We're going to sell it to you
Beautiful.
guys.
Perfect. Well, thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
thanks
Tandy.
so
Thank
much
you.
for coming out and taking the time to meet with us,
Yeah,
brother.
thanks for the invite. We'll see you in a few weeks.
For
Awesome.
Evan Hafer, Matt Best, Matt Tandy, and JT.
Hot Logie.
And I love
And K-Fed.
Okay, Fed.
We are out of here.
We're out.
Love you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you.
Black Rifle Coffee Company, along with Arson Wave, would like to thank you for tuning in to Black-Hearted. Have a great fucking day.